Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Bundesliga show brought to you by Over the Bar. Hope everyone is doing well. Myself, Rory, and Rune checking in this evening for another match day preview show. So obviously we've got some predictions for match day 15 and obviously some fantasy tips. As unfortunately couldn't do it last week, so we've got obviously lots to catch up on, and Rune has obviously got a lot of tips to give everyone. So how are you, Rune? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, Rory.
Glad to hear it. Right, so obviously this show, the Thursday show, is indeed in partnership with Rune's Bully News, not Bundesliga boxes, and so they're a brilliant website that provides information on the go in English about the Bundesliga and German football. They do obviously fantasy football tips and all sorts, and they've also got a really cool exclusive with Joe Scally, actually, which I've obviously found on your website the other day, Rune. That must have been exciting for you guys.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. It's really fun to talk to him, and yeah, we have a lot of readers from the United States, and I can see that they seem to enjoy the article as well. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out on bullynews.com. And of course, if you're checking in this evening, please drop a like on the video on YouTube, comment along, let us know how you're doing in terms of your fantasy football and if you agree or disagree with our predictions. And please do press the red button and subscribe. Always helps us welcoming new people every day to enjoy the ride. And you'll never miss out on any brilliant content that is coming your way either. So without further delay, let's have a look at some predictions and match day 15. It's got a lot to live up to, hasn't it? Match day 15, Rune. There's just been probably for the last 3 weeks, I'd say, it's been just relentless in terms of goals and action. It's been brilliant. Like me and Mark did the Monday show for about an hour, which we don't usually do anymore because we had so much to talk about. So let's hope match day 15 produces the goods even more so. So Friday night football, tomorrow evening, we've got FC Cologne hosting FC Augsburg. For me, it looks like a strong contender for a home win. Obviously, Cologne have been a bit up and down, but that includes a really good, impressive Derby Day win a couple of weeks ago, and I think they're very strong at home. But obviously, we're starting to see some more restrictions in Germany, so the home crowds might, make less of a difference. But anyway, I think it'll be a fairly straightforward win. I'm going to go 2-0 home win. Rune, what do you think to this one?
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, couldn't have been very strong at home, and at the same time, Augsburg had the second worst away record in the league. So yeah, I've backed Köln to win this 3-1.
3-1, very good. Moving on to Saturday afternoon's games. So the champions are at home. They're at home to Mainz. Looks like a good game, this, because Mainz, have been incredibly impressive this season. They're they're sitting in seventh right now, 6 wins, 3 draws, and only conceded 14 goals. So impressive. So it will be a close game, but I'm just going to give it to the home side. I'm going to say 3-1 home win. What do you reckon, Rune?
Yeah, I agree with you, Rory. I don't think this will be an easy game for Bayern because Mainz are a very well organized and defensively sound team, and also quite good at hitting teams on the counter. But being at home and with the quality they have, I still think Bayern will get the win here. So I'm backing the champions to win this 2-1.
2-1, very good. Next game, particularly interesting, this one. So we got RB Leipzig at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Both sides kind of reeling, I guess, a little bit at the moment. Gladbach maybe more so, given the absolute whoopings that they've been given in the last 2 match days. Obviously 6-0 against Freiburg, and obviously the Derby Day defeat, conceding 10 goals in 2 games, looking very, very clueless and aimless, really. And the new manager bounce always seems to happen, doesn't it? Leipzig got a good win against City the other day, so I'm going to say a 2-0 home win for this one. Rune, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I pretty much. Yeah, I've gone for a 3-1 win for Leipzig. I think they reacted well to the 2nd of March with the win over City. I was very impressed with that performance, and yeah, with Tedesco taking over, that might have a positive influence on the season. And at the same time, Gladbach have fallen into a bit of a slump, like you said. So yeah, I think Leipzig could take advantage of that.
Sure. Just on RB, obviously they've I think they've announced, isn't it, the new head coach coming in? Is it Tedesco? Do you
Yes.
know much about him, Rune? Just for the people who are maybe not too familiar with the name.
Yeah, I know a fair bit about him. I mean, he, as far as I remember, he guided Schalke to a second place finish some seasons ago, and then in the following season, they just couldn't live up to that performance, and didn't go so well for them, and he ended up losing his job, and yeah, then he went to Russia, and I don't think things went that well for him there, but he was a huge talent when he first got out of the coaching school in Germany. And as far as I remember, he was like the best graduate with Julian Nagelsmann coming in second. So that was a pretty strong team that year. But that says something about his qualities. So I'm excited to see if he will be able to like show some of the potential that he undoubtedly has.
Absolutely, it'll be interesting to see what he does with this talented squad. Sure. Moving on. Meeting of two teams certainly on the up this season. Freiburg at home to Hoffenheim, both in really good spells of form. Fourth versus fifth in the league, just separated by 2 points, so plenty of on the line, so to speak. Obviously, Freiburg holding that 4th place in terms of the Champions League spot right now. So I think it'll be an entertaining game. Both will fancy their chances at scoring a couple of goals. So I'll go with a 2-2 draw. Rune, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. 2-2 draw is what I've gone for as well. And yeah, it's kind of hard to predict this game. I think Freiburg will be looking to build on their 6-0 thrashing of Gladbach, but Hoffenheim, like you said, are in great form as well. So I think this is likely to be an entertaining game, which could end in a draw.
Yeah. It seems every week when it's just you and me, Rune, that we tend to agree. Maybe Mark just throws in the controversial results. Maybe it's just you and me always agreeing, and it's Mark that's tripping us over with his.
He's the controversial guy. I agree.
Absolutely, loves it. Another afternoon game. We've got Hertha at home to Bielefeld. Very important game for both teams. Obviously, both at the wrong end of the table. Yeah, I mean, Hertha at home again. Is there going to be a bit of a new head coach bounce? Obviously, the interim manager got a good result from being 2-0 down against Stuttgart to get a 2-2 draw. So I think they might just edge this one. I just got a funny feeling not to do anything with form. So I'm going to say 2-1 to the home team.
Yeah, same here. 2-1. Yeah, like you said, they did well to come back and salvage a draw in Korkut's first game in charge, and at the same time, Bielefeld are really struggling to score and win games this season. And I think this is a game that Hertha really should win. So yeah, I think they will.
Yeah, absolutely agree. That's another on point with Bochum at home to Borussia Dortmund Saturday afternoon again. But yeah, obviously Bochum are putting together a really fine season. Bang on, pretty much mid-table. They're in 10th place, 6 wins from their 14 games. I've done a really good job of only conceding 22 goals so far this season, and they'll hang in there in most games, and particularly at home, I fancy them to push Dortmund. But with the return of Haaland and him getting more game time, I suspect that Dortmund will just about have enough. So I'm saying 2-1 away win.
Yeah, same here. 2-1 away win. Yeah, as you said, Bochum have a pretty solid home record, and they don't concede many goals at home. But also think Dortmund will be brimming with confidence after their big win in the Champions League. And yeah, of course they have Haaland back, and as we all know, he usually gets on the score sheet. So yeah, I think Dortmund will probably win this narrowly.
Very good. Saturday evening's game is a very up and down Wolfsburg at home to to my boys, VfB Stuttgart. So tricky one to call. Stuttgart's performances of late have been a lot better. They would have been very disappointed last week to have thrown away that 2-0 lead against Hertha, because that could have been really important for them. There is now a bit of a gap. There's a 4-point gap up to Gladbach in 13th. So there is, that it's basically that kind of bottom 5 that seem kind of rooted there. So for me, Stuttgart need to take at least a point. So I'm going to back them to get a nasty 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'm actually backing Stuttgart to win this because I think Wolfsburg are in huge trouble at the moment. They've lost the last 4 games in a row, and they seem pretty clueless on the pitch. And it seems like the magic that they experienced after Kofeld came in is gone now, and they're really struggling. And I think that Stuttgart have been on the up in recent weeks, and 3 points would be very important for them here. So I have a funny feeling they could pull up a surprise win here away from home.
That would be very welcome indeed, for sure. So 2 games on Sunday. Kicking us off, Greuther Fürth at home to Union Berlin. So obviously Berlin completing their Europa Conference group stage as we speak. Haven't had the chance to check how they've been getting on. I think if they win, they might sneak into the next round or into the knockout. So good luck to them. Regardless of their involvement in Europe, I think they'll have enough in the tank to travel away to Fürth and win quite comfortably. I'm saying 4-1 on this occasion.
Yeah, same here, 4-1 actually. I feel kind of sorry for Fürth at this stage. You can't really see them turn this situation around, and at the same time, Union have been very impressive this season. So I don't think they should have any problems winning this.
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. Last game of the weekend, Frankfurt at home to Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, coming off the back of scoring 7 against poor old Greuther Fürth, sitting in third place now, looking, they're now only 3 points off second place Dortmund, and we know that Dortmund can throw a wobble every so often. So they'll be thinking, we can claw these boys in and start to really push for a good finish this season. So I'm going to back them for a narrow 2-1 away win on this occasion. Rune, your prediction for this last game?
Yeah, 2-1 win for Leverkusen as well. I think they will take confidence from the big win last week, and they're generally in better form. And I also think they have more quality in their side, and they have some players coming back from injuries. The injuries are clearing up, and they're looking more like the team that they looked before they lost that game to Bayern. I think they have the best chances of winning this game.
Good stuff. Well, that's the end of the predictions. That must be a record-breaking prediction section that we've done there, Rune, in terms of matching each other.
Not much to discuss.
No, not much to discuss at all. We'll either both look like massive experts after this weekend or fools. So we'll see which way it goes. Let's hope it's the first one. Very interesting stuff. Another good weekend to look forward to. So second half of the show, as per usual, we're going to go for a bit of fantasy football fun. So if you're watching, drop us a message. Let us know what you think about your fantasy football exploits so far this season. How are you doing in your league, or if you're in our league? And if, of course, you've got any questions for Rune, just fire them in and we'll get him to answer them. So let's just look at the scores on the doors for the 3 of us. So me, Mark and Rune, how we're doing in the Bully News and Over the Bar League. So Mark is ever dropping in 207th now. Unfortunately, he seems to have gone like the wind, much like Greuther Fürth. He is dropping sadly. I'm making small gains, so I'm trying my best. I'm not getting very far very quickly, but I made a slight improvement, 173rd, and in third place at the moment. Rune, you are right up there in the mix, of course. Superb so far this season. Congrats to still our leader in the fantasy league. So it's Gladiator 11. So formidable stuff from him so far. So congrats for still being in the league up to game week 14 or up to 15. So that is the scores on the board. So let's just move into the next section then, where Rudy's going to take us through your top 5 fantasy picks. Just before we do that, maybe shall we just go through a couple of teams to avoid this weekend and a couple of teams that you might want to take a look at as well?
Yes, sure. With regard to the teams to invest in, I think that FC Köln, first of all, look like a quite attractive team. They have the Friday night fixture, the standalone fixture on Friday, so you can captain all your Köln players and that then change the captaincy on Saturday or Sunday if you want to. And they have some quite interesting options. And as we talked about earlier, they're quite big favorites to win this game at home. Second team, Union Berlin, makes sense to invest in them since they come up against Fürth. I mean, last week I didn't bring in Patrick Schick, which is why I lost a bit of ground. I chose Moussa Diaby instead, and as we saw, Schick scored 4 goals and picked up so many points. And the week before that, we saw Ilas Bebu and Jorginho Ruda do the same. So maybe this week it'll be Avoni to pick up all those points that you really need. Union are surely a team to keep an eye on. Third team is Dortmund. They face Bochum this week and then Fürth on the next match day. Then Hertha, as far as I remember. So they have a quite attractive run of fixtures until Christmas, and obviously some pretty interesting players as well from a fantasy perspective. In terms of who to get rid of, I would probably look to sell my Wolfsburg assets. At the moment, with the form they're in, just doesn't look like a team worth investing in or keeping your players at the moment. And the same goes with Gladbach. I think maybe the only player I would consider keeping is Jonas Hoffmann, perhaps Joe Scally in defense because he is so cheap. But things are not looking good for Gladbach at the moment, so I'd consider any other assets from them. And then I'm not really sure about Hoffenheim. They've been on a good run of form, but their schedule is pretty tough. So I would consider maybe if I owned Kramaric or Bebu or someone like that, I would consider maybe selling them for some of the other teams I mentioned earlier.
Sure, good stuff. Right, let's move into your top 5 fantasy picks for this weekend then. So obviously, if you're watching, try and have a look at these and see if you can make them as one of your 3 transfers that you can make for the week ahead. So let's just get them below there. So Rune, just by all means talk through them one by one and let us know why you would want to bring in any of these 5.
Yes. First one is Nico Gieselman, and he's owned by 18%, so he's fairly popular, and you can see why. He's the 3rd highest scoring defender in the game at this point, and if you don't already own him, then it's a good idea to bring him in this week with Union facing Fürth and everything, and he costs just 5.2 million, so he's cheap and will surely do well this week. I can't see him do bad against Fürth with the attacking prowess that he has. Second pick is Rafael Guerreiro from Dortmund, a bit more expensive option, but after being rested in midweek, I think he should start the last 3 games of the year, if he can stay injury-free, of course. He picks up a lot of injuries, unfortunately, but when he's playing, then he's a really good asset to have. Scored an average of 9 points per game so far this season, and as I said earlier, Dortmund have a very favorable run of fixtures until Christmas. Sure. So he could do really well until Christmas. Third pick is a bit of a differential. Andre Duda from FC Köln. He kind of disappointed last week, but I still think he should remain on your radar because, as we know, when he's on his game, he can really be a difference maker. And with Köln facing Augsburg at home on Friday, if he's in the lineup, then he might be worth taking a punt on. Alternatively, Florian Kainz, who's a bit cheaper, is another good midfield option from Köln. He's owned by, I think, 7 or 8%, so he's a bit more popular. But either way, both picks are good as long as they're in the lineup.
Dude does love a spectacular goal. He's certainly got the quality to do it. Just obviously whether he does it week in, week out is certainly the difference between being that kind of great player or top player. Crack on them.
Fourth pick is Taiwo Avoni. As I said earlier, it makes a lot of sense since he's in great form and scored a lot of goals this season. And he's coming up against Fürth, and it was Bebu and Schick before him picking up more than 20 points on facing Fürth. So maybe it's his turn to gather a big points haul this week. He's definitely a good option, especially for the price, 9.1 million. It's not too bad. So he's a very good alternative to the more expensive strikers. Fifth pick is Erling Haaland, and I know he's owned by a lot of people, but I still think it makes sense to mention him because a lot of people might have sold him while he was injured, and maybe they haven't brought him back. And I think now is the time to do that because he just looks hungry for goals as always, and in great shape. He scored twice against Besiktas in midweek after coming on, and Dortmund have some very favorable fixtures coming up, and personally I don't want to approach these games without Haaland in my squad. I think at the moment my front line is Lewandowski, Müller, and Haaland, and I'm kind of worried about not owning Avoni, but at the same time I don't really want to leave any of those three big guns out.
Yeah, I've got Lewandowski and Müller, and I put in Schick last week, so that's why I had an okay week. But I'm 1,000% going to drop in Haaland into my team, and I think I will go with Avoni. I think Fürth have got injuries anyway, haven't they? I think, and his pace and strength just for me would absolutely frighten the life out of that defense. And if Union aren't too leggy from this evening's game, then that could be a scary proposition for the Fürth defense. So I think I'll go with a front three of that and see where that gets me, I reckon. But brilliant picks there as always. Any other players that you want to give a shout out to, or are you happy with those five? Any differentials other than Duda?
I think Benno Smits from FC Köln is quite a good differential pick. He's owned by 4% and costs just 4.8 million. He has done consistently well this season. So if you're looking to sell the likes of, for example, Joe Scally, and want to bring in a player in like a similar price category, he's a bit more expensive, Smits, but he's a very good option for the price. Adli from Leverkusen in midfield, he picked up 18 points last week, and from the last 3 games, I think he's picked up 38 points. So he's actually in great form, and last time I checked, he was owned by 0%. So a very good differential pick as well. And I also think third player I'd like to mention is Dominik Szoboszlai. I know he's been rotating in and out of the Leipzig squad this season, but I think he might stay in the team now. And looking at how he performed in midweek against Manchester City, he scored in that game and performed really well. Then I think he could be a good player to pick up now, especially because he's done really well compared to how little he has actually been on the pitch. I think his total points is 115, and it's 9 points per game on average, which is quite good, especially considering he's been subbed on a lot and haven't been starting consistently.
Sure. Good stuff. Thank you very much, as always, Rune. Some brilliant picks there for match week 15. So that brings the show to a nice close. Again, thank you as ever for joining me this evening, Rune. Some excellent predictions. Let's hope we're both spot on with those, and looking forward to another big weekend in the Bundesliga. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Just to close up then, please do give us a follow on Twitter. That's at OverTheBarFB and OverTheBarExtra. Go follow Rune on Bully News so you can check out his brilliant exclusive with Joe Scally and many other excellent predictive match lineups and fantasy football prediction articles as well. Have a look at our website as well. It's www.otbfootball.net. And of course, the YouTube channel, which hopefully you're watching on right now. And as mentioned, please do drop us a like and a comment. If you've not caught us live, not a problem. Let us know in the comments anyway how you're getting on with regards to fantasy football. And that brings us to a close. Rune, thanks as always. Hope to see you next week. And we'll see what happens this weekend. Another entertaining weekend of Bundesliga football, no doubt. We'll see you all on Monday for the review show. So cheers all and see you next time.
Bye-bye.